We've really fed the soil for our growth because there is a new world coming. But what our topic says today, if we believe it, we'll see it. And if we see it, then we can do what we need to do to be part of that world that's waiting for us. It's actually here already because we've been given it all. We've been given everything, but it's for our own self-discovery. So I want you to think for a minute. Can I vision this world we sing about, we talk about, we pray about? This world where there's peace, and there's love, and there's harmony, and there's goodness. Be thinking about that, be tapping into that, because it really depends on our belief system. Now, this week, Kirk and I got a delivery for one of the meal services. We decided we wanted something new in our life, and they give you the ingredients and cooking together, and it'd be really fun. But we had to find one that was in alignment with what we believe about eating and food. You know, you have to find something that works for you. So I opened it on Monday, and it says, if you don't believe in something, you'll swallow anything. Isn't that true? And under it, it says we believe in 100% organic produce, antibiotic and hormone-free meats, and wild-caught or sustainably raised seafood, which we do too, and we do our best to live that way. Not all the time, but we do our best. And then it says, be the change you want to eat in the world. Well, I thought this was just darling and perfect. But I thought about, what are we feeding our minds? Do we take more care of our bodies or our environment, our physical environment, than we do what's going on in our minds and in our heart? Because that's what's really creating not only our own environment, but collectively the environment of the world. Ernest Holmes had a list of declaration of beliefs, and if you've been in any of our classes or in the youth room, we have the declaration of beliefs, and they're all the things we believe as good religious scientists and science of mind students. One of the beliefs is we believe in the control of conditions by the power of our mind. And that's just what Martine was mentioning in her opening this morning. What we choose to think really creates how we show up in our experience. Our thoughts and our beliefs are that powerful. Our beliefs really, I mean, what we believe, I mean, think about the things you believe. Beliefs are just things of thought. They're activities of consciousness. They're the way, we think about things. Beliefs can be changed. I mean, think in your own life how you've changed your beliefs just from circumstances that happen, or you see the way people live and you think, maybe there's something more that I need to know and understand. And faith also is an activity of consciousness that sees beyond the physical, that isn't stuck in the physical realm, but sees beyond the physical. And it's affirmative, and it usually says, I can, instead of I can't. And faith can be expanded, it can be grown. And the more belief and faith and conviction we have, the more we can change our own lives and collectively change that new world coming. The more we can... I hope that was good. If not, we know what we got to change, right? Oh, thank goodness I can't hear too well this morning. Anyway,
we can choose how we hear it.
Thank you so much, Court. We can choose how we hear it. I just heard it as excitement, so there you go. I think this topic is really important to me because I don't know where I'd be. I don't know how angry, upset, hurt, diminished I'd be if I didn't truly believe that life is inherently good, that there's a purpose for everything, and that life is eternal. Now, it's true we're on this process of growth and evolution, and I believe that sometimes we get pop quizzes. Oh, maybe that was what that was all about, a pop quiz. What's this life all about? How spiritual am I really? When these things in life happen, that knock us off our center. What do we think? How do we act? What do we become? We get these tests because we're all in this process of growing and becoming. And yes, we make mistakes, we fall off our center, because we get to check what we believe. We get to check what we believe. And if our faith and our beliefs aren't strong, we can live filled with fear. We can be dulled with confusion all the time and not really understanding. And we can have the weight of doubt in our bodies and our minds. And when we do, we don't show up in a way that's fully open to this beautiful thing we call life. We show up in a reaction mode. We show up in a mode that's not in that flow of that stream of that stream of consciousness, that stream of God that's ever flowing through us, to us, as us, that's there. And we need to learn how to do that. It was 2,000 years ago that Jesus told his followers, there is a power available to everyone. And when you use that power, all things are possible. That's how much he knew of this power we call God. Some call it the Tao, some call it Holy Spirit, some call it the Great Mystery. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's that stream of goodness that wants to flow through us, and we get to see how open are we to that. Now Jesus tells a story, which is this pretty much the way it is done unto you believe. It comes from this story in the Gospel of Matthew, the healing of the centurion's servant. And a centurion, if you can picture in Roman times, that big gladiator type guy with all this costume, and he was a powerful leader of the soldiers, and they were known for their not being so nice. They were kind of, difficult. So when Jesus came to town, to Capernaum, a centurion came to him. Now this was a centurion with a big heart who'd heard of Jesus and what he did. And he said, Lord, I have at home a servant who is paralyzed and suffering greatly. And Jesus said, well, shall I come to your home? And the centurion said, no, I'm not worthy to have you under my roof. But speak your word, and the healing will be done. And the centurion said, I am a man of authority, and when I tell my soldiers, go there, they go. When I tell them to come here, they come. When I tell my servant to do something, it is done. And Jesus stood there absolutely amazed and said to his followers, nowhere in Israel have I felt or known or heard of a faith that great. And he told the centurion to go, and it will be done as he believed. And sure enough, the centurion was healed right then in that moment. Jesus had no doubt about the use of this power. We're just learning how to get there. The only difference between us and this great leader, spiritual leader, Jesus, is he didn't ever doubt this power was there for him. And he said, thank you, before every miracle, because he knew. And that's our job. We need to get to that place where we can be so in faith that we can say, thank you, it will be done. I know it. Let's leap forward 2,000 years. It was the year 2000, and the Hopi elders came up with a prophecy that they had, which is a little bit like a new world coming. And they talked of, we've spoken so long how this is the 11th hour. No, this is the hour. This is the hour we must do our work. We must change now. And here's what they said about, the prophecy said. The great prophet clasped his hands together and said, this could be a great time. I'll just add, if we do the work necessary to make the changes that we need to do. But he didn't say that. There is a river flowing now, very fast. It is so great and swift, and there are those that will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel like they are being torn apart at their very core, and they will suffer greatly. No, the river has its destination. trust, the river has its destination, we're all moving to the same place. He didn't say that either. The elders must say we must let go of the shore. We must have the courage to let go in faith that there's something more waiting for us. We're not here to suffer. We must push off towards the middle of the river. Keep our eyes open and our head above water. And see who's there with you. Look around right now. Who's with us on this journey? And celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and our journey come to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves and banish struggle from your attitude or your vocabulary. Everything we do now must be in a sacred manner and done in celebration. So where are you in that river? This life is wanting to teach us, wanting us to grow. Are we holding on to the side the way things have been and we're not willing to let go and do things differently? We have to be willing to give new meaning to our life. That's my call to you today. What is it that will make new meaning for you? I mean, we got some food delivered that gave new meaning to connection and fun. It doesn't have to be great, but it's just something new to keep you going and growing and becoming. It's for us now. Mark Nepo also talks about the river of life, and he says in the middle of that river, in the center, there is what the mystics call the soul. I would say what Ernest Holmes called the divine urge that keeps all of us inside, have that divine urge, that divine spark that's God announcing itself. I'm here. Hey, I'm ready. Look at me, I'm here. We need to use this energy so we can get to that center and keep in that flow and rhythm of life. And in that center, we will find the peace and the knowing and the understanding. You know, if we think, let's go back to the river, or maybe we'll still there. That would be very, very awkward if I leaned on this and fell down. But so think of the river. And he said, you know, we have something to learn from fish. Now this is really deep, even though it doesn't sound deep. I want you to take it for yourselves. Think how fish breathe. They inhale the water, and what do they take from the water? They take the oxygen, and they turn the water into air so they can breathe. For us, when we breathe in any experience, anything that's going in our life, breathe it in and take what is essential for us to live. What might that be? It's something different for all of us. Something different. What is it? When we breathe in what is essential: love, compassion, forgiveness, caring, adventure, joy, courage. That courage to let go. Take what is necessary with us, what is essential. I thought that was such a beautiful reminder of how often do we hold on to things we really don't need, and they just weight us down when we could be creating something brand new that brings us together in the middle of the river of life, that we can celebrate, that we can honor each other, love one another. Elliot's song was so perfect. Friends gathering together. How wonderful that is. So the solution for all of us, I think, is to be very conscious of what we're holding on to and what we're letting go of. You know, every mystic will tell you that we can't do this living in the outer world. We need silent communion with life. We need to take time to go inward just with ourselves and open our spiritual eyes so we can see the Spirit in all things. And when we open our ears, we can hear the divine harmony, even if it's on those notes that don't sound so good. It's all in the process of life. And then we open that intuition that sees the unity. It's for us here and now. I'd love for you to walk away with the feeling of that connection, to have the faith and trust in the power greater than we are, that we can use, and to use it We can know things, but if we don't choose to use it, we're not getting the benefit from it. We may feel a little better when we're speaking the words, but we got to amplify it and use it in our life. And I want you to feel deeply forgiving of yourself. Let go of the things that aren't essential and others. We need to be fully connected and make the space, because our heart is like our gill. We need to weed out those things that make it heavy so we can show up and be available to life. And I want you to leave today feeling really good. Okay? I want you to feel good. Isn't that what we want for everybody? We want to feel good. We don't just want to leave here and say, okay, well, I did my duty. No, we got to feel good. We got to shake out the things we don't want, and we got to be fully present to all that is good. Look, this day was provided just for you. And so feeling good means that you get to walk out here better than when you came in, because you've decided to leave something here that you don't need to carry anywhere else. Are you with me? Yeah. Good. All right, we're going to do that. So just think of one thing right now that you want to leave here and not take with you, because together we're lifting and growing. Remember, when the fish is swimming, because it uses what is essential, it's lighter, it's faster, and it's way more open and available, just like us. So I have a feeling, Kirk, do you have a song for us today? Would it fit? Gee, I'm so surprised. Well, all right, let's just give ourselves a thumbs up. We're going to be feeling good today. Know you are loved, you are cared for, and you have everything you need. Hit it, guys.